can I ask your name, your age, and what branch of the military you served in?
My name is Elmer Bud Betcher, and I'm 94 years old, and I was in the anti-aircraft in the Army.
And were you drafted or did you enlist?
I was drafted.
And were a lot of your friends and buddies at the time drafted as well?
Just about everyone.
Were you,
outside of the ones who enlisted and got in earlier, but most of them were drafted.
yes. How old were you when you were drafted?
I left home here at exactly 21 years old.
Exactly 21. Were you living here or where were you living?
I was living in West St. Paul at 298 East Shirley Street.
Okay. So
Living with my mother and with the family.
did you get to pick the branch that you served in, or did they just
No,
put you wherever they needed you?
Well, I served and went through my basic training at Fort McClellan, Alabama. After that, I went to school for radar in Camp Davis, North Carolina.
Do you recall your basic training, what it was like?
Boy, do ever. It was 6 weeks of real tough physical training.
Mm-hmm. What were some of the things that you had to do for that?
Well, we had to do a lot of running and marching and calisthenics and go without meals a lot of times too.
What did it feel like? Did it feel like it was never ending?
Oh yeah, the days were kind of never ending. Yeah. They tried to get as much out of you as they could, but it was training, you know.
Mm-hmm. How long was it that you?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. And then after that, where did you go?
Then I went to Camp Davis, North Carolina.
And then what did you do there?
I went to school for radar because radar was really in its infancy then, you know. And it seemed like it kept changing day by day too. It took a little doing that.
How long were you in North Carolina?
About a year.
About a year. And then did you go overseas after that, or?
No, then I went to down to Florida, to Lakeland, Florida, to a school down there for radar too.
And then, so what was your was your job assignment radar, or?
I become a radar operator.
And then did you stay?
And was attached to a searchlight battalion. Searchlights were connected to the radar, and the radar would pick up the aircraft, and then the searchlights would kick in, and the searchlights could illuminate a plane at 7 miles away back then.
Were you ever shipped overseas?
Yes, I was overseas.
After how long when did you go overseas?
I went overseas in 1944. And I was over there for 13 months. I was in the Philippines.
You were in the Philippines. Do you recall Pearl Harbor? Do you remember where you were?
Oh, I was at home.
You were at home?
Pearl Harbor, definitely. Yeah.
Do you remember what you were doing? Because I know a lot of people at the time, they know exactly what they were doing.
Well, it was a Sunday morning, you know, and we usually planned for a big dinner on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very much of a surprise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did it change, like, how you thought of the war?
What was that?
Did it change how you thought of the war? Did it really strike home, Pearl Harbor?
I didn't understand that either.
Did Pearl Harbor, was that like a turning point in the war?
Well, that was the beginning of the war as far as we were concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Because the war was declared the day after that. That we got into.
Mm-hmm. And you said that you went overseas in 1944.
Right.
Do Do you remember D-Day?
Oh, right. Oh, very much.
Yeah, the invasion of Normandy. Did you take part in? Well, how did that influence you?
Boy, that influenced us just great. We had some of the best news that even up to today, some of probably the best news we ever heard. Because it was a long, dragged out thing.
Yeah. Did you ever see combat when you were in the Philippines?
We very little.
Very little.
I got over there a little too late, and the Japanese Air Force was pretty well shot down at the time.
So,
But we experienced a little bit of it. But then after the war, I got into the military police. They put me in the military police, and we were on a prisoner of war camp where we had all of the Japanese forces that were in the Philippines, and they were repatriated before we went home.
so you were at the prisoners of war for the
Prisoner
Japanese.
of war camp. Yeah.
What was that like?
Oh, it was huge. We had 90,000 Japanese forces. We had General Yamashita, and he was really, if I can use the word, a bastard.
Did you get a lot of time off? Did you have leave?
When I was in the States here, I was home on furlough 3 times. And I come home from Florida one time from North Carolina, and one time from Georgia.
What would you do in that time?
Oh, I was in training for quite a while. I spent most of my time in the Army training.
Yeah. Did you have time off did you have time off during basic training? Did you have breaks?
Just some furloughs, usually like a 10-day furlough. I come home from furlough one time in Florida on a 10-day furlough, and it took me 3.5 days to get home because the railroads were that busy at the time. And then I come back from North Carolina and from Georgia.
What were some things that you did for fun? Yeah. Did you?
Well, we played baseball, touch football in the camps.
Yeah. Like
And then we look forward to Saturday nights to go into town.
Did you go to like the movies ever?
Go to the movies, right?
When you were to get to the Philippines, you traveled by boat, right?
No, I went over by boat, yeah.
Yeah. Did you get really seasick from the?
No, I didn't, but I knew a lot of people that did. Really.
And in our history class, we talked a lot about how like the living quarters were under deck and they had many bunk beds.
Right. Oh yeah.
And
well, it was like a hammock. Really.
Yeah. And was it? My teacher said that mostly if you were seasick, you wanted to get the top bunk,
right,
so that you weren't.
Oh yeah, otherwise you might.
Have people getting sick all over you.
Yeah, you've done.
What did you? Were you on the top, or were you one of the unlucky
I was on
ones?
the top, right.
That's how.
But when I went over there, really went over on a kind of a luxury ship. It was the A.E. Anderson, and it was a pleasure ship that was converted to a troop ship.
Oh.
And it was a fairly decent, and it was kind of nice. I spent 58 days aboard the ship going out to the Philippines.